And we are back. We are back. What's up, Hip Politics family? Um, this is crazy. This is absolutely insane. Like we are have officially the US has officially struck Venezuela. The United States, earlier this morning, United States carried out a lightning military strike on Venezuela early this Saturday, capturing their president, Nicolás Maduro, and his wife, I believe it's Cilia Flores, and whisking them out of the country. Apparently, they're already back in the United States. President Donald Trump said the U.S. is going to run Venezuela, which is wild. Like, we need help running our own country. But that's neither here nor there until a transition of power can occur. And the U.S. and in another example of President Trump saying the quiet part out loud, the U.S. will tap the country's vast oil resources as part of the rebuilding efforts. And the reason why American officials, even Representative Pam Bondi, U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi said in a statement, a public statement, a social media statement, that Maduro and his wife will face narco-terrorism charges in the U.S. courts. There's a lot going on, and I want to just do a quick reaction here to some of President Trump's press conference. I think there's been a ton of people who have come out. This is not fully unprecedented, but also unprecedented in that very rarely do we go into a sovereign nation and essentially snatch up their leader. So this is something that I think a lot of people are going to have some issues with. The world is reacting to it. There's a lot more into it, but I just wanted to go into some of the most important parts of Trump's press conference, and then react and just give some reaction and update there. So with that, here we go.
An operation known as Midnight Hammer, all perfectly executed and done. No nation in the world could achieve what America achieved yesterday, or frankly, in just a short period of time. All Venezuelan military capacities were rendered powerless as the men and women of our military, working with U.S. law enforcement, successfully captured Maduro in the dead of night. It was dark. The lights of Caracas were largely turned off due to a certain expertise that we have. It was dark and it was deadly. But captured along with his wife, Cilia Flores, both of whom now face American justice.
Is he having trouble reading? Like, why is he going so slow? He needs to have a lot more confidence when you start talking about we invaded another nation. But keep going.
Maduro and Flores have been indicted in the Southern District of New York. It's Jay Clayton, for their campaign of deadly narco-terrorism against the United States and its citizens. I want to thank the men and women of our military who achieved such an extraordinary success overnight with breathtaking speed, power, precision, and competence. You rarely see anything like it. You've seen some raids in this country that didn't go so well. They were an embarrassment. If you look back to Afghanistan, or if you look back to the Jimmy Carter days, they were different days. We're a respected country again, like never before. These highly trained warriors operating in collaboration with U.S. law enforcement caught them in a...
If you notice, he always got to make a dig at old presidents and people acting like he the first to do anything. He's on a soldier boy heavy. Man, I'm the first president to do this.
A very ready position. They were waiting for us. They knew we had many ships out in the sea. We were just sort of waiting. They knew we were coming. So they were in a ready, what's called a ready position. But they were completely overwhelmed and very quickly incapacitated. If you would have seen what I saw last night, you would have been very impressed. I'm not sure that you'll ever get to see it, but it was an incredible thing to see.
I you don't want to queue any further. Like, I will say this, that this has sparked alarm all around the country. I mean, all around the world and in our country, as we're trying to understand what and how this happened. There are people who suggested that Donald Trump should have this in 2019. I just know from my experience, having worked in the White House and worked also in Congress for over a decade, let any Democratic president do something like this, where they take out the leader, whether he was elected by the people or not. A lot of people say he stole his election. Maduro did. But to be able to whop out a leader and blatantly say, you know what, we're going for their oil, we're going for these other things there, like, I think anybody else would have gotten killed in the media and would not have support. So I know Senator Tim Kaine is aggressively working toward Senator Tim Kaine, I know, is aggressively working toward putting the Senate to a vote and in Capitol Hill to limit the powers of the president on this. So I'm curious to see, just like, here's an article that we were just reading. Like Tim Kaine here. Let me make sure I pull this. Senate votes on war powers measures following the Maduro ouster. Senator Tim Kaine, who you may know, ran for vice president along with Hillary Clinton back in 2016, but he is a senior senator out of Virginia, and he's going to try to literally limit the war powers, because this is an act of war. They're trying to say this is an act of law enforcement. This is an act of war. So I would say stay tuned. We're going to do more and follow up here soon. But I just wanted to react to a little of that press conference here on Hip Politics News. We're out. Peace.